Well, hello everyone and welcome to Facebook Live. Today I'd like to talk to you about how to distinguish good copywriting from bad, and more specifically, the secrets behind how to write autoresponders that convert. Now, there's two things here. The first is kind of the question I received. The second is giving you a hint about how I'm going to answer it. But because there is two things, I want to handle two parts here. And the first thing I want to do is to say, before I even answer any part of that, I want to introduce what you're looking at, because to get an autoresponder to convert, you need to do a few things, and that is you need to have planned out your strategy beforehand, because an autoresponder, of course, drives traffic to a landing page to get some kind of response. And if your autoresponders drive someone to a landing page that doesn't exist, with no videos on it, for example, without a form to opt in for something, without a way to transact money, whatever you're trying to do, there's no point having the best copywriting in the world. So step one to ensuring your copywriting, specifically in your autoresponders, converts, to distinguish the good from bad, is the good will already have an automated system behind it. So here's what you need to think about here. Before you worry about how to copyright your autoresponders, make sure you worry about copywriting your landing pages. Otherwise, the autoresponders are going to take someone somewhere and they're not going to do what you want them to do if the copy isn't good there as well. Second thing I want you to think about is what else goes on those pages other than copy. For example, the imagery, more specifically the videos, because the videos, they say a picture says 1,000 words. Well, a video is a lot of pictures together, if you get where I'm going. A lot of the time they won't even read the copy on the page. If the video is good enough, they will just watch that. But once again, if you have these fantastic autoresponders carefully copywritten and send someone to a page without videos on it and without good videos on it, well, you're not going to get the results you want. How can you determine good copywriting if you're measuring it by the results it gets if you haven't done the other steps first? Bear with me. You need your whole online distribution channel, which shouldn't be a website. It should be multiple landing pages and multiple sales funnels there, so that every single page has a purpose. Every single part of the funnel, whether that be an autoresponder or not, is set to walk someone through a sequence in order to go from prospect to lead entering your database to sale entering your customer base. That's what you're looking at there. So that needs to be all set up first beforehand as well. And test it. Don't just set it up and think it's working. Prove it's working by going through the whole process yourself and experiencing your customer experience. But lastly, before we look at these autoresponders, there's one other thing I want you to send at that. If you copyright the best autoresponders, if you check that you had the best copywriting on all the landing pages, if you check that you have the best videos on all the landing pages, if you fully build all of that sequence, every landing page, every marketing funnel, and you put all the effort in, you've tested it works perfectly on yourself, if you haven't sent traffic, you're not going to get the results you want. So even though you don't do this before you have these autoresponders written, make sure you have good lead generation strategies in place. Otherwise, these autoresponders still aren't going to convert. If you don't send any traffic in, you won't get any sales out. So the second part of the question, what you all wanted to know, how to distinguish between the good and the bad, well, that's step one. The good needs all these things behind it, but the secret specifically of what to write in your autoresponders to ensure they convert. Let's look at that now. Here's my secret, and you probably heard me allude to this once or twice before, because I do mention it quite a lot. Use already tried and tested methods. If you write something, how do you know if it's going to convert or not? You don't. You need to test it. So if you've already written stuff, if you've already tested it, if you already know the results, use that. If not, you have two options. You can pay someone to custom copyright this. Once again, trial and test the results. Pick someone, and a lot of people charge $10,000 per copy letter for this, but pick someone who charges that because they've had that experience, and therefore you know you're also going to get results. Or, most people like somewhere in the middle, purchase pre-written copywriting, specifically for the autoresponder sequence you want to do, what you're selling, someone who's done this before and tested and measured it so you know what results you're going to get. Purchase their templates, change their words to yours, and then you can guarantee that you will get the exact same results as they did, because this copywriting is already tested and measured. Now, when you get better, feel free to move back to step one and take what you've learned, take what you've purchased and start writing your own copy. Great. When you're first starting out, if you're in an area that there's nothing you can pre-purchase, then unfortunately you are going to have to pay someone, if you want the tested results, to custom write those letters. But once they're custom written, turn them into templates and you can on-sell them to your customers if that's something you're interested in doing. But note, there's always three steps. The person who writes the original copy, the testing and measuring of that copy to ensure it gets results, and the copy you use. Always use copy from whether it's step 1, 2, or 3 that has been trialed and tested. And if it's number 1, and it's what you've written yourself, trial and test it on a small market, so a beta test, before you launch it out to everyone and then panic that you didn't get the results you wanted. So I hope that answers everyone's questions, but what I'll do is I'll just put a link below this Facebook Live when I get off the line, just with a link for where you can go to get more information. This is a brief session. I didn't have too much time to go through a lot of detail here about each of those things, but they're all important when it comes to copywriting both your autoresponders and the secrets behind the good and the bad. But what I've done is I've actually put an online course online for you guys. It's a mini course. It's absolutely free, so I'll chuck a link underneath there so you can go and get more details, more elaborated details, watch the videos, see the landing pages, see how this all works, talking you through how to do this in a lot more detail. Until next time, I wish every one of you every publishing and marketing success.